Hey everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Raid Shadow Legends, and today we're talking about 5 legendaries that are being added to this game. Now, some of them are more obvious, like the Fusion and the Referral Program Champion, but there's been a few others added to the game too that are super cool. But let's get started with that Fragment Champion that we'll be able to get from the Referral Program. Now, the Referral Program, it's not going to be easy to get this guy, guys, but he is Ninja 2.0. It's the easiest thing to call him. I remember the second I saw him, I'm like, yep. And then I saw another content creator be like, Ninja 2.0. So this is your answer, guys. We don't have Ninja, but they're trying to give you Ninja. His A2 describes that, but let's look at his kit in case you missed it. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of increasing the duration of a random debuff on the target by 1 turn. If Demarge is on the same team, each hit also increases the duration of any HP burn debuffs on the target by 1 turn. So this does book up to a 50% chance of increase in a random debuff duration. Love that. A2, sorry. This is so good. Oh, I love it. Attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has an 100% chance of instantly activating HP burn debuffs on each target. Heals this champion by 10% of their max HP for each HP burn debuff activated by this skill. So it doesn't sound like much. You're like, oh, it's only random. But guys, this is just like Ninja here. And there's going to be a lot of opportunities to come back to the skill often. And so we'll get to that. His A3 attacks all enemies, has a 100% chance of placing HP burn debuff for 2 turns. Fills his champion's turn meter by 5% for each HP burn debuff placed up by this skill. So that's an awesome turn meter boost. So he's going to come back to all of his skills quite often with stuff like this in his kit. I love it. This goes down to a 3-turn cooldown. And his passive, which is amazing, a passive effect every 10 times active skills are used in battle by either the enemy or the champion, allied champions. This champion instantly activates a Berserker's Delight. Hello. This happens every 5 times if Demarge is on the team. Plus the active skill, if Demarge is on the same team, revives this champion with 50% HP and 50% turn meter when killed. And he has an accuracy in all battles by 50. Awesome champion, who also has an awesome skin that can be achieved if you get those 3 extra people in the referral program. So super cool. Love this legendary champion. Next, we're heading over to the skinwalkers here. We have a hedgehog. I believe this was part of like a character creation contest. Someone had a little hedgehog. I think it was more cute. They made it kind of badass though. Gotta love it. It has a fun aesthetic. I think everyone's really gonna like this champion. So these HP based here. A lot of HP damage dealers lately. Attacks when enemy has a 50% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. Up to 60% chance. If the target is under a leech debuff, has a 100% chance of placing a decrease attack debuff on the target for 2 turns before attacking. Very nice. Making sure you place that. So then you don't if it's going to be placing before attacking, you don't have to worry about weak hits. You don't have to worry about poison cloud. That's really nice. I like that. All right, A2. AoE decrease speed. Woo! 100% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Also places a shield buff on all allies equal to 30% chance of this champion's max HP for 2 turns. The shield buff cannot be removed if it's placed when there were enemies under leech debuffs. So they're doing a lot with the cannot be removed in this patch. I like it. It's a quirky addition. They're getting more champions. Like you guys know, we have Brogni shields, we have Cardiel's block revive on death. So they're adding some more to the mix, or like what protection gear does, right? And A3, ally protect on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Also places a reflect damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. Then heals this champion by 50% of their max HP. Love it. Reflect damage. That's going to be so helpful against bosses, Again, this is another Hydra. We got decreased speed. We got reflect damage. We got being able to place decreased attack even if the champion's under poison cloud. Like, there's a lot of fun stuff here for sure. And then here's the passive. Whenever an ally under reflect damage buff is attacked, places a leech debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. Reflects 50% of the damage this champion receives back to the attacker. Hello, Head of Wrath, right? Hello, Head of Wrath. Increases the amount of damage reflected by 20% from reflect damage buffs placed by this champion. That's gonna be awesome. Like, I don't know. I could see this as an arena, like a protection champion for arena here with the ally protect and reflect damage, and then this passive's really nice, right? The reflect damage back onto the attacker, it's like extra. It's so good. It's like, so they're already under reflect damage. And then whatever he receives, he's reflecting even more damage? Like, that sounds awesome. So I'm definitely curious to see how this is going to play out in arena as well. And I'm sure just overall against bosses and stuff. This is going to be fun. I don't really see... Yeah, I mean, this is okay for arena. This sounds interesting. I don't see this kind of thing used a lot, but there are some really good champions that kind of base around ally protect that really help your arena defense. So maybe this champion can actually get involved there too. Let me know what you guys think. All right, let's go on to the next. The orcs are getting more love, guys. The orcs are getting more love. Raka. Look at her. Super cool aesthetic. Love the skin. They always do a good job with this stuff, don't they? Super, super cool. I love her. Alright. Attacks when enemy. Heals the ally with the lowest HP by 10% of this champion's max HP. Simple but helpful for sure with the A1. Constant healing is really needed in a lot of content. So A2 removes all debuff from all allies, then places an increased attack and a shield buff equal to 25% of this champion's max HP on all allies for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. Solid. Love it. More shield. I love the shield. Increased attack. It's super helpful. And it's a cleanse as well. She's great. This is a Void legendary, guys. Void legendary here. So a nice cleanser option. Revives all dead allies with 50% HP and 50% turn meter, then places block debuffs on all allies for 2 turns. Will place block debuffs even if there are no dead allies. This is a 4-turn cooldown. So even if you have no dead allies and you need her just for block debuffs, you can use her for that as well. And then she has a passive at the start of each turn, fills the turn meter of all allies by 10%. Ooh, I like that. And, or sorry, that's the active part of this. And then, which is on a 2-turn cooldown. And the passive at the start of each turn places a continuous heal buff on the ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns. Will not place on this champion. Alright, and then it looks like she's got an aura of 19 in all battles. So that's helpful everywhere. She seems great. I mean, this is definitely screams arena, even maybe Hydra, like I keep saying, but it is what it is, right? It's funny, but nah. Probably not Hydra unless you just really need a cleanser and some protection for dealing with the Head of Wrath, or you're just squishy. Early, lower levels of Hydra maybe, but you probably wouldn't find a spot for her in your roster on higher, like Nightmare Hydra, honestly. But this is solid cleanser. Love this for all content. Definitely, obviously, Faction Wars. Don't even need to say that. But this is great for arena. Go second teams, put her in Stone Skin or Immunity or Untouchable. She'll be solid to be able to cleanse your team if she's the one that goes first. And then she can also revive them if they die. So this is a really great combination here. I like having the cleanser and reviver. I think what Raglan does that too. Doesn't Raglan cleanse? I actually don't. I don't have a Raglan. I feel, and that's one champion I've missed. Besides, I have Cardial that kind of can do that, but it's a revive on death buff, not a proper revive. So to have that utility of both is really, really nice. And then we have Night Rev over here. Theodore? I don't know how to actually say that. Theodore? I'm so bad with that. I'm so bad with names, guys. Not as bad as some, at least, but still. Alright, A1. Oh, this is the... Oh, I like this guy. You'll see why. A1, AoE, decrease speed, debuff on all... for AoE, decrease speed, 2 turns. Hello. Debuff chance, 50% chance of placing on the A1. Ooh, that's nice. That is nice. A2 has a 75% chance of placing 2 poison debuffs and a 25% poison sensitivity debuff on all allies for 2 turns, and also places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. Here we go. Increased speed and decreased speed AoEs. Well, one for you, one for them. On the same champion. I love this. I think the new guy, lmao, also has that feature. That's what made him amazing for Hydra. There you go. I know poisons aren't as Hydra relevant, but they still do work for some of the heads, so you can still get some use out of that. Speaking of which, this is what makes him more valuable for Hydra. Increases the duration of all poison debuffs and HP burn debuffs on all enemies by 1 turn. Then instantly activates any poison debuffs and HP burn debuffs on each enemy. Instantly activates as well. Hello. Explosions. Places a 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns on enemies not under poison and HP burn debuffs. And then this champion's resistance is increased by 5 for each poison debuff on the enemy team. So what about, like, is that any poison? I'm guessing. So if you're pairing him with a Toxic Set Inquisitor Shamel team or something for Hydra, Jesus, that will be really, really useful. So yeah, this is a solid champion. I mean, I'm curious to see if, let's see, his stats are meh. They're okay. Oh, he has defense based on his damage on the A1. Okay, there's only actually 1 hit on this skill here, so interesting. I wonder, he might be able to solo some content, we'll have to see. But that's really cool. We're gonna have some fun with him. Maybe even clan boss. This is pointless for a clan boss, obviously. So that's kind of a bummer. But everything else is pretty neat. We're gonna have some fun testing out and get him against some bosses as well, but he's a really cool champion. I look forward to testing him. And then last but not least, guys, we're just gonna quickly roll on to our fusion Lanatharil. I'm gonna mention his skills briefly because we've already heard all about him now. We have A1, decrease enemy max HP and places a shield on the champion with the lowest HP. So Scarab King, and then we have our Scarab King shields here, a 3-turn shield on a 3-turn cooldown. We love that. Cannot be removed or stolen or whatever if the enemy, or sorry, if any ally is dead. And then increase crit damage buff on all allies for 2 turns and an ally attack with all allies. And then a passive that does more damage to enemy under shield. So simple as that. I think we have an interesting mix of champions here. Let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments below which champion is your favorite. Do you have any quirky ideas for where to use them? Yeah, I think they're doing a really good job of new champions. I hope everyone is enjoying the content. It's been hard. Everyone hates Hydra, right? Everyone hates Hydra, but people are finally starting to come around to it. I used to hate Hydra. I don't hate it anymore. Maybe you guys will feel the same eventually. Maybe they'll come out. I know that everyone's complaining about too many new content, or new champions, too many new champions, but it is what it is. At least they're trying. Yeah, I'm gonna take all that out. Cut all that out. Yeah, I think they're doing a good job trying to add in interesting kits on these champions too. I mean, unfortunately, we're getting a champion for Scarab King when you guys don't have the Scarab rotation available, right? What the hell? Oh well, it's fine, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, it'll be back, and then you guys can use Lanatharil for Scarab King, or you can play around with those epics too. But let me know who's your favorite champions out of all these new ones released, and I will see you guys in the next video.